let's switch gears and work on this. Gundam full weapon set, RX-78-2. Many people refer to him as Grandpa, but if you are Filipino, you might call him Lolo. I'm gonna call him Lolo. And this is the entry grade kit. It's super inexpensive. I think this cost me less than 20 bucks. It was like $15 or something. And this one comes with an extra kit of weapons here that he used throughout the show. The original version of this model kit did not come with all these weapons. So that's why I was happy to pick up this one, because it has a little bit more weapons, which I like. And again, this is a very simplistic model kit. Like, it's supposed to be very easy to build. However, it has a lot of... It's a very good articulation. Sorry, I'm having a hard time getting the words out. Yeah, the articulation is supposed to be really good on this from the reviews that I had seen. So let's get into it. Let's just try and work on a bit of this and see where we go. I don't think I'll necessarily finish it today, but let's just get a start on it, and then we'll wrap things up, because today will be a little bit of a short one today. This week I was able to get in a good number of build sessions in and streaming sessions, which is nice. As of late, my whole kind of streaming schedule has been a little topsy-turvy, but I want to get to a point where I have a more regularly scheduled streaming schedule. That's redundant. But yeah, I want to kind of get to a point where, whoop, I dropped something. I have like certain days that I stream or something like that. That will be good. And let's see, let's open up these instructions. Is there English? Oh, there's English. Let's just kind of clear up our space a little bit, guys. Oh. Clippers. Do I have all my clippers and stuff? I think I gotta get clippers. Hold up, hold up. Oops, sorry. Okay. So I got... These are my crappy clippers. And here's like our better set of one. And it's a good practice to have two kinds. I know I'm probably speaking to the people who already know that stuff. A1. Let's get cracking on this. Pretty excited to work on this because like I said, I hear it's really nice. A1. Oh wow. You know what? So when I watched some reviews for this and watched some people building it, they actually just popped out the pieces, and I don't know if you guys can see, but like there's no gate really. It just kind of butts, like the plastic frame kind of goes right to the part, and it's just a very thin piece of, it's just like a very thin piece that's connecting it, I think. And I've seen people just pop those babies out, push them out. Yeah, I think it'll be really satisfying to do that. Ta-da! Yeah, I just pushed it out, and it barely left a mark. That's wild. Even that alone is pretty nutty to me. Here we go. Are we doing it again? A2 16. Here we go. Let's try another one. Let's push these babies out. Push it out. Ooh, this one seems a little more This one seems a little more firmly in place. Oh, no, it came out. Yeah, and there are nubs. There are nubs, but we can easily clean that up. Are we gonna just completely push out all the parts? Let's try as much as possible to just do that and see how far we get. Would you want this as a standard for other grades? Well, a little too early to tell in terms of how they've engineered that. It's a little too early to tell. If it gets to a point where I push it out and it leaves a noticeable nub mark or something like that, then yeah, that's not good. We don't want that, so we'll see. But I think that's a testament to the engineering of these kits that they've gotten to this point where you can do that. And yeah, maybe they'll kind of carry it forward into their next. See, this is a little concerning though. If a part is too thin and small, it might no. See, I don't feel good about like pushing out a small part like this. So let's be normies and kind of cut this part out. It'll probably I was like, it'll probably, and yeah, it came out nicely now. And let's just use this. I always like to do a couple of different things during my stream. That's why we're working on this now. B1. Here, let's try and poke this baby out. Yeah, that came out pretty well. Okay, now it is time to clean the parts. Let's see. Yeah, there's a wee bit of a nub here, and just scraping it off, it came off super easily. And we can kind of clean up the pieces more. But let's put it together. I want to put it together. Let's not dilly-dally with all this cleaning business. This is a really, really small part. It's the faceplate. So this is actually my first Gundam kit since coming back to the hobby of Gunpla building. Or model kit building, I guess you should say. Because, yeah, coming back to making model kits, I bought like everything but a Gundam. So this is interesting. And I actually wanted to build a real grade kit, because that seemed to be a good size model kit, and it seemed to be indicative of the quality of Gunpla model kits in 2020, in like the modern day, I guess you should say. But I just had a hard time deciding what I wanted from that range, because there actually isn't many to select from. And there's a shortage, like, you know, Bacon is aware of this. I'm sure many people are aware already, but there's a shortage of Gunpla models, not only in Canada, not only in North America, but basically all over the world, including Japan. Within Japan itself, it's actually apparently quite hard to find Gunpla. It's a shortage, guys. Thought it was hard finding a PS5. Try finding the Nightingale. I don't know. I don't know if the Nightingale is actually easy to find. But let's just clean up these pieces just a little bit, and we'll put them together. And I really don't know how I'm going to go about painting this guy. I'm really not sure. Okay. Okay, so this goes here. It's so small. So small. Huh. Okay. And then the faceplate. Yeah, this would have been just like a single piece for like for the older Gunpla model kits that I bought as a child. This would have been just a single face part that you would just like glue that you would just affix a sticker onto. So the fact that they have like 3 color separated parts that you have to do is quite impressive. And I'm going to attach these parts kind of loosely because I think I want to be able to access them and separate them later if I want to paint it. I'm actually not sure. And there's his little head there. Wow, very detailed. You know, and again, this model kit is like, was $15-16 or something cheap. And yeah, like if you're someone that wants to get into Gunpla, if you don't know where to start, I think this is a great way to get into it. Here's another really small piece that, yeah, I was able to just twist off. That is also very, very interesting, very weird to me that you can even do that. And it leaves a nub mark, but you can kind of clean that off really easily. And I think, yeah, so if the rest of the build experience kind of holds up in terms of ease of taking out the pieces from the sprue and the ease of cleaning it off, yeah, I think they definitely should just move this forward into future model kits, other types of model kits. The only hang up I have would be the what's the word I'm looking for? Any kit that would have really, really thin parts, really thin pieces, you run the risk of breaking it, snapping it off if you were to just push it off, right? So, for example, this V-fin here, I'm concerned about snapping off those thin parts. So we're gonna try and just do it normally, and we'll cut away from the part. And yeah, the connection point, I don't know if you guys can see, the connection point between the gate, if you want to call it the gate, and the actual part is just so thin. It's making very, very thin contact. Just imagine the process involved where the injection of the plastic is going through the mold and it's flowing through the runners, and then it comes to a point where it's so small right here, and then it flows into the actual real part. So small. It's very impressive. Look at that. And I was able to twist it off, and it's so clean now. Huh. That is actually pretty cool. And that's the thing about Bandai, is that like their closest competitor to this quality is probably like Lego, right? In terms of like their engineering precision. Look at that. I just twisted it off. The engineering precision involved. It's kind of like Lego. Very, very cool. Because I've been building like non Bandai kits, right? Like the Mecha Musume kit, or rather the Sosai Shoujo Teien model from Kotobukiya, as well as the Exo frame from Good Smile Company, and they were fine, but this just feels like you're building something that's just superior. Very interesting. Okay. Bake in, as much as I like the Koto kits, going back to Gunpla makes you appreciate how well engineered they are. Yeah, right on with that. Like, I'm kind of like the reverse, right? I've been building exclusively non-Gunpla, non-Bandai kits. And so coming to this, yeah, I'm just like so appreciative of the quality that Bandai put into their stuff. And there's many situations with the Kodo kits where I'm kind of like looking at it, I'm putting it together, and things just they're supposed to go together, but they don't go together quite right. And you kind of have to work with it a bit. You kind of have to shave the balls, as we all know. So, yeah. When things just go super well together, like this kit has been thus far, it's just really nice. It's really satisfying. We'll put this in a little loosely. I don't want to put it fully in, just in case I need to disassemble it for painting or whatever. There you go. There you go, guys. The first step is done, and I barely even thought about what I was doing. I was chatting away. I didn't have to think about anything. Did I miss the unboxing? You didn't see the Batman unboxing, Night Trap? Because you got a good one. So Night Trap, I'll show you the first two, the ones that I got. So this is Batman. Say hello to Batman. I'm sure you're all familiar with this. The artist escapes me, the name of the artist. It's not one that I'm too familiar with. Very nice though, very nice. Oh, and actually looking at this again, I noticed that his gloves, his underoos, and his boots have a leathery, a shiny black plastic, but his cape is actually matte. So that's pretty cool that they did that. And the second one I got was Robin, the Frank Quietly Robin. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And it looks very Frank Quietly-esque. Like it really does pull off the look of his work. Enhance. But this was your pull. Boom. Look at that. You got it, dude. You got it, baby. Look at that. Mike Mignola Batman. How cool is that? So cool. Do you know, there's that movie from Disney called Atlantis? Like Quest for Atlantis or something? And over at Disney, they made this decision that they were going to base their entire art style off of Mike Mignola and Hellboy. You got the touch. Did you feel the bag? Did you feel the bag and you felt the weight of it? Not like you had a choice. These were literally the only three that they had. Maybe if we hit up another dollar store, we should get more. So for that Atlantis movie, they were like, yeah, it's going to be like Mike Mignola Hellboy style, right? So they worked on basically deciphering Mike Mignola's style, like breaking it down and turning it into a science, like a mathematical formula into how to draw like Mike Mignola, right? So they made like a Bible in terms of like how to effectively copy his artwork. And then at some point they were like, you know what we should do? We should call Mike Mignola and have him come over to Disney and have him look at what we're doing to see if we're on the right track. So he was invited. He comes in and he looks at all their work, and he was saying how, this is all on the DVD extras, he was saying how it was super weird coming into Disney Animation Studio and seeing all these people post up pictures and break down his artwork into a science and basically formalizing his art style such that they could rip him off. You know, like in so many words, you know? Like how weird would that be if you were the artist and you walked in and you saw that? It'd be pretty weird. But one of the things that they had kind of determined was there was this bullet shape. Now take a look at him, like especially from the back. The sloping shoulders that kind of come down into a column. That's something that they called the bullet shape, which is a common sort of form that you see in Mike Mignola's artwork, from Hellboy to his work in other comics like Batman. And you can see how that's been realized in 3D, this bullet shape. But yeah. Night Trap has the aura. He felt the glowing aura of the Magnolia set. All right, how are we doing for time? Let's do a few more steps. We'll see, and then we'll we'll think about wrapping things up. Decent session at the office today. Let's poke this baby out. Hurrah! Poke it out. Hurrah! I don't know. That's very weird to me that you can do that. It feels wrong in some respects. The ease of just poking things out, but that's what they want you to do. A2 6 right here. Bacon, how do you feel as an artist about other studios doing that? I think I'd feel a lot like Mike Mignola. I'd feel kind of weirded out. And I think it was almost out of professional courtesy that Disney invited him into the to the studio and take a look at his work, take a look at their work in impersonating his work, or whatever you want to call it. It was almost like a professional courtesy, because if they had done this entirely without his acknowledgement, without acknowledging him, without something like that, and any kind of financial, what's the word I'm looking for? A financial compensation, that would be very, very bad. And Mike Mignola is, even at the time, he's a much bigger artist now, but even at the time he was a big artist, right? And he had been working in Hollywood. He wasn't just some comic artist, right? Not to disparage on comic art, right? He wasn't simply a comic artist. He had already been working in Hollywood. He worked on Bram Stoker's Dracula, famously the Dracula outfits and costumes and the warrior armor and stuff. I'm pretty sure all of that was from him. And so yeah, that would be really weird on Disney's part if they had not gotten the okay from him in some respects. So I don't know to what extent was he compensated for his involvement in this in a retroactive sense, because they decided to base their work off of him. A living artist, by the way. It's another thing if an artist is somebody from like the 1800s or whatever, and they want to copy Norman Rockwell. I'm not saying Norman Rockwell's from the 1800s, but you know what I mean. If they want to copy some old children's book painting style or something. But he's a living, working artist, so it's a little odd. Kid Checker, I'm actually impressed that Disney cared. Yeah. And Disney, of course, they're a gigantic corporation. They could probably throw their weight around and sort of maneuver out of any kind of legal trouble that they may have ran into, and possibly there wouldn't be any legal issue at all for them to have done what they did without any kind of acknowledgement or approval from Mike Mignola. But they did that much at least. So I guess ultimately I would say what they did was they kind of did it as well as they could have, outside of actually just straight up hiring him from the start. I guess. Night Trap, do these come assembled? Yeah, they do come assembled. Straight out the box. Straight out the bag, they're fully assembled. Bacon, like taking your distinct style and using it for their own project without asking. Yeah, the whole without asking thing is weird. Eventually they kind of asked, and I know that they hired him to do some posters and stuff. And they may have hired him in some official capacity after. Not really sure. But it is, I remember wanting to buy the DVD for Atlantis, because the DVD extras has like the whole Bible, their whole Mike Mignola bootleg Bible. It's all in there. They have the entire breakdown. So I definitely wanted to get that just to see what their thoughts were on how to do all that. And it is pretty interesting. It's a very, that movie kind of just kind of just plays it safe. It's not that amazing, but yeah, again, from a production standpoint, from an artist standpoint, it's quite an interesting movie because there's one character in that movie that was animated purely by Disney France. That studio no longer exists anymore, Disney France, but they had one character that was animated by a totally different studio outside of like, you know, the Disney Irvine, California animation studio. And you can tell because it's like this like sexy you know, warrior woman or something like that. And you can just tell that she seems like she comes from an entirely different movie. Her art style doesn't even really look like the whole Mignola art style thing. And it's just really interesting having this completely different character existing within the same movie. Very, very odd. Alright. Alright. Let's see. How does this go? Like this? I think this is right. It looks right. Okay. Now we turn this baby around, and we need A12, 17. Yeah, A12? A2, 17. A2. There we are. So let's try something else. Instead of poking the piece out, let's try and just use a knife to kind of slice. See what that does. Because... okay, this one we can twist off. Let's see. Will you be streaming tonight, Bacon, or Night Trap? Anyone on the schedule today? Okay. Yeah, I can see faintly a bit of nubbage. I'm just using my knife, but I don't really want to get in there with the sanding just yet. All right, now where does this go? Into this big hole here. Interesting. Fit. There's a little piece of, it says fit. Okay. Fit. It did fit. Oh, okay, and it's giving us this Bacon you have not decided yet. All right. It's giving us this back and forth movement which will allow the model to swivel, or the torso to move front and back like this, just slightly. Not a lot of, not major movement, but just a bit. Okay, let's finish the first page. Let's see if we can finish the first page of the instructions. And Night Trap is not sure. Okay, okay, you guys aren't sure. A1, A15. Is there some, there's any basketball today? I'm sure there's some basketball. Okay. So there's this one. Let's just get out all the rest of the pieces here. A18 and A218. A218. Okay. Are you almost done your Home Alone house, Bacon? A18. I think that this kit does not come with any polycaps. Is that something that Bandai is moving away from, the whole polycap thing? It seems like they want to move away from that, because eventually polycaps do sort of wear out over time. So maybe they want to move away from that. And if you were to stream Night Trap, what would you be doing today? I saw your message there, Bacon, and you were saying how you ended up not purchasing a certain model, but did you get something else instead? Bacon, if I think they are moving away from those. They didn't use them in the newer kits. Oh, okay, so yeah, they are moving away from polycaps. I don't know, it's been a while since I've built a Gundam model, and I didn't really mind the polycaps back then, but maybe that's because I never thought to check back on them several years later, and maybe if I were to look at my older model kits, the polycaps would have been like messed up, or because they're a more rubbery they're a more rubbery kind of plastic, it's possible that they may have deteriorated. That can happen sometimes with like certain kinds of plastic, right? Even my Lego from when I was a ute, even my Lego, some of them, when I was like kind of cleaning up and going through all my childhood stuff, I found this Lego space model, and it was like translucent plastic, the canopy. I was like, wow, I found this old Lego kit, and I picked it up and it crumbled to dust in my hands. The plastic, it just crumbled, and it was like my childhood deteriorating right through my fingertips. Night Trap, maybe paint some Warhammer figures. Ooh, that'll be cool. That's something that I would like to do pretty soon also, is work on some Warhammer. Mojo, what's up, Ludens? How's it going, Mojo? What's your status? What's your, are you still afflicted with rot? Are you still, what's your status? Do you have a status affliction? Night Trap, there's also a beta that you got into. The game is called Leap, a 60-player game. What? Well, I'm pretty interested in seeing that. That sounds cool. Man, is there some kind of website that you use to like keep on top of all these betas? That's pretty sweet. Alright, let's put this baby on. Wow, I barely even thought about how this piece went together. I just looked at the picture and I saw that these go together, and I just started to put them in, and they slid on just perfectly like that. That is really cool. It just went on super nice. Wow. That was almost like a Lego-like experience. Mojo, my wife says your voice makes her feel safe. Wow. That's like the nicest thing I've heard in the longest time. That's so nice. I remember, so I brought this up before, and someone posted in the chat like they didn't believe me, but yes, I dated a girl a long time ago. But in college, I had a girlfriend. I was dating a Japanese girl, and she said that my voice sounded clear like the waves on a beach. That's what she said, and I was like, wow, let's do it. But no. I said, like, I tried to compliment her in the same way, and she was like, you don't have to match my compliment, because I had a shitty compliment back. No, but that's really nice. That's really nice. Tell her thank you. Safe. Safe space stream. Alright, let's see. Night Trap, you're not the only person who asked for an ASMR stream. Yeah. There's been some other people. I've told this story before, but I used to work for the Art Gallery of Ontario, and basically I worked as a glorified telemarketer for the art gallery. So we would call current members, right, and just tell them about the latest shows. the latest events happening at the Art Gallery of Ontario, and possibly if they wanted to, if it was necessary, if they wanted to renew their membership with the gallery, blah blah blah. So I'm on the phone for like several hours every day, and I developed like a voice so that I could talk for several hours every day without killing my voice, without like, yeah, without having to really put too much strain on my voice. And that's not the voice that I'm talking with now. It was a much softer kind of voice. But what ended up happening was I would occasionally get people on the phone, and they would I tell them about the gallery, Turner, Whistler, and Monet, blah blah blah, all the art shows going on. And then more than a few times, some people would go, "You've got a really interesting voice. Like I've never heard a voice like that. You know, for a girl, you just have such a fascinating voice." And I'd be like, "I am not a girl." And they'd be like, "Huh? Oh." That would be pretty much the end of the conversation. Yeah, I would that's not how I'm talking now, but like, yeah, if you imagine just a much more softer version of that voice, because again, like I said, I'm on the phone for like for hours. So, you know, what are you gonna do? You gonna talk super loud and end up killing your voice? Kid checker, you're 43 and still getting voice cracks? Yeah, actually, a couple of times I've had people call me a kid. I'm you know, I'm not too far from your number there, kid checker. Let's just put it that way. I'm not that far off. But I've definitely had people call me a kid. And like, man, if only you knew. It's like when I'm playing games and stuff, it's like some of these guys on the other end, they're probably the kid. Mojo, then there's no hope for me. I've never really noticed your voice to crack there, Mojo. I've never really picked up on that. Are you like that guy from The Simpsons? Like, can I take your order? Welcome to Krusty Burger. A1. A7. So the whole ASMR thing, how do you guys feel about ASMR? Does that do anything for you? It doesn't do anything for me. I'm not even talking about like getting aroused, right? I'm just talking about like, does it give you like a tingling sensation or anything? It absolutely does not for me. I kind of wish it did, because there's people out there that are super into it, and they're like, oh god, ASMR, I love it. And I'm like, wow, man, I'm happy for you, because that would be, you know, that would be nice. That'd be nice if I could actually feel something, but I'm dead inside. No. It makes me feel like, is there something wrong with me? But one thing that I do like is accidental ASMR. You know, all these people out there that like whisper into the mic and make tapping sounds and stuff. You know, if you're into that, that's cool, but it just does nothing for me. But anytime something ends up being accidentally ASMR, I'm like, oh, okay, we're onto something here. There's even a YouTube channel that's literally just called Accidental ASMR, and they'll find like just a news reporter from like Puerto Rico, or you know, like some guy on YouTube talking about welding pipes together or something. and it's just that their voice ends up being super relaxing, and then they'll just get compiled onto accidental ASMR, and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, give me some of that. I like that. Kid Check, are you talking about the girls in the hot tubs? Yep, the hot tubs, or any of the other ones that just, yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They got their business all popping out, and they're whispering into the mic. Mojo, if you do it, it'll do stuff for others. Do I want that? Bacon, how do you do accidental ASMR? Don't you need a certain type of mic? No. You don't need a certain type of mic. You could definitely do it with any kind of mic. I mean, for the people that take it seriously, for the elite pro strats ASMR streamers, yes, they have like what's it called, binaural mics. I don't know how to say it properly. So yeah, they do, but I mean, like, yeah, when it's accidental, it's just because of like the quality of the voice, the timbre of the voice, or whatever. I don't know. It's accidental, man. Oops, accidentally ASMR. Accidentally giving you tingly sensations. Oops, sorry. Okay. There's a crafter on YouTube called The Craftsman, and I think when he first started off, he did not intend to give the tinglies, but so many people were saying like, oh my god, your voice is amazing, like it's giving me ASMR, it's giving me accidental ASMR vibes. And then he leaned into it, and he bought himself like one of those mics, and now his channel, it's just a part of his channel now, where his voice is definitely just gives that feeling, that vibe, but it's still accidental, I guess. All right, we are very close to finishing the first step, the first page. So let's finish off this first page, guys, and then we'll wrap things up. We're just about close to our max limit. My HP meter, my focus meter is going down, so we're getting close. But let's just finish off this step. Oops. Ooh. Here we go. Okay. Just doing some pressing some buttons off stream, guys. B321. Oh, A29. This is fun because this is the kind of build where I can work on this and look at the chat and talk, and I don't even need to focus all that much because it's like so easy to build, and I don't even have to sand parts really. Kit Checker forgot to add a laughing emoji. Did you stream earlier today, Kid Checker? I didn't see you, but I didn't check like in the afternoon. Or will you be streaming later tonight? You are based in Europe. Are you based in Europe? I don't know. I actually don't recall. Took the weekend off. Okay. Sweet. Okay. So here it goes on just like this. Austria. Okay, cool. Yeah. I was thinking you were not based in North America. I gathered that much. That's cool. Well, folks, page 1 is done. Let's slap this this noggin on here, this cabeza. Oh yeah. Look at that. Pretty nice. And again, this kit does not come with any stickers, so any of the colors are simply just part separation. The colors are just established through different colored parts, even as far as like the interior, the little yellow part of the eye. And the one thing that I had seen people talk a lot about with this model was how there's a gap between the yellow of the eye and the red that goes underneath the eye. And that gap makes a shadow, which then acts as a kind of panel lining for the model. Isn't that interesting? So it's just a shadow in the gap to create the definition, the separation between the two parts. That's pretty neat. Pretty neat. And there's still a few more steps to go, of course, but at the end of the day, this is a pretty simple model. So we'll be working on this on stream. I think I'll reserve production of this model, assembly of this model for the stream, even though I'm quite eager to see it complete.
Easy operation.
There it is, Night Trap, easy operation. And so yeah, we managed to do a couple of things today. We unboxed some models, and we worked on good old Borborgimos. Gotta do some more work on this guy, possibly later tonight. I'll work on this as I watch other people stream or something, as I watch some basketball or whatever. Pretty happy with that. And let's see,